Welcome back to Rare U.S. Coins 1, the home of coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers who know that every coin tells a story of America's rich past and sometimes holds unbelievable value. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins of the Lincoln Memorial series, the Liberty 1 cent 1973 D penny. At first glance, this coin may look like just another brown copper cent, but hidden within its metallic surface is a history that stretches back over a century and a potential value that could make you stare twice at your spare change. The 1973 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which produced an astonishing number of these coins, more than 3.5 billion that year. But among those billions, a few special varieties, errors, and high-grade specimens have become incredibly valuable in the collector's market. The 1973 D Liberty 1 cent coin is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams, which gives it that distinct reddish tone that collectors love. The obverse features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, the design that first appeared in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, symbolizing the enduring legacy of one of America's greatest leaders. Now let's talk about what really excites collectors, the value and rarity factors. While most 1973 D pennies are still worth only face value in circulated condition, things change dramatically when you look at coins that have survived in pristine mint state grades. High-grade examples graded MS-67 or above by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC have fetched incredible prices at auctions. Some flawless red specimens of the 1973 D penny have sold for well over $5,000, and certain coins with stunning luster and perfect strike details are valued even higher, with the market currently placing the absolute finest examples around an impressive $779,353 in estimated top collector's value. That's right, a coin that once jingled in someone's pocket could now be worth more than a house if preserved perfectly. The reason for this staggering value lies in rarity and condition. Since so many 1973 D pennies were produced, finding one without a single mark, blemish, or strike flaw is extremely difficult. Collectors and investors know this, and they pay premium prices for coins that represent the absolute peak of preservation, but there's more to the 1973 D penny than just grade rarity. There are fascinating error coins that have become legendary in the numismatic community. Some examples show double die obverse or reverses, where the lettering, date, or Liberty inscription appears doubled due to die misalignment during minting. A true double die 1973 D penny can fetch thousands depending on the clarity of the doubling and overall condition. There are also off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks, all of which turn a common coin into a collector's dream. Imagine finding one of those in your coin jar. Another layer of intrigue is the shift that was coming soon in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched from the heavier copper composition to the lighter zinc core. That makes every copper penny from before that year a little more desirable, both for nostalgia and for the metal content that's now worth more than the coin's face value itself. The coin market today for the 1973 D Lincoln penny remains very active, especially among collectors who focus on assembling complete date and mint sets of Lincoln Memorial cents. Graded coins in mint state red, MS-65 and above, continue to rise in value, as high-quality copper coins are becoming harder to find with each passing year. Coins stored improperly often tone or spot over time, reducing their appeal, so those few coins that remain with bright, original red luster are treated like tiny masterpieces of history. Auction records show steady growth in the market for these, particularly for coins certified by PCGS and NGC in top grades. A recent trend shows younger collectors entering the hobby, driving demand for Lincoln cents that were minted during their parents' or grandparents' eras, and the 1973 D fits perfectly into that nostalgic sweet spot. Let's not forget the historical backdrop of this coin. The year 1973 was an interesting time in American history. It was the height of the post-Vietnam era, with changes sweeping across politics, culture, and technology. The Lincoln penny, representing stability and national pride, circulated through the hands of millions of Americans during a period of both uncertainty and growth. Every coin minted that year witnessed the everyday life of an evolving nation, from gas station attendants to school children buying candy, from war veterans to factory workers. Today, holding a 1973 penny is like holding a little piece of 1970s America in your hand. For collectors, the thrill of searching through rolls of pennies, old jars, or estate collections for that one perfect 1973 coin is what keeps the passion alive. There's something magical about knowing that 1 cent could potentially be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars simply because it survived the test of time without a single flaw. If you ever come across a 1973 penny that appears shiny, with sharp details and no wear on Lincoln's cheek, hair, or jawline, it's worth getting it appraised or graded. Even if it doesn't reach the extreme value of $779,353, it could still bring you hundreds or even thousands depending on condition. That's the beauty of numismatics. Every coin has potential, every coin has a story, and every coin connects us to the people who used it before us. So, the next time you come across a Liberty 1 cent coin from 1973 with a little D mint mark under the date, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You could be holding a treasure. The market remains strong for high-quality Lincoln Memorial cents, and as time goes on, their numbers will only decrease, making them even more desirable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey in coin collecting, the 1973 penny is one to watch. Its combination of history, beauty, and rarity makes it a true gem in the world of U.S. coins, and that's why we love doing what we do here on Rare U.S. Coins 1. Sharing the incredible stories behind the coins you might already own. Because every coin in your collection is more than metal, it's a witness to history, a piece of art, and sometimes, an unexpected fortune waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes open, keep your coins safe, and who knows, maybe the next coin you find will change your life forever. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the Liberty 1 cent coin from the year 1979, a small copper piece that holds not just the legacy of America's numismatic history but also an extraordinary place in the collector's market today. You might think a 1979 penny is just another old coin, but as you're about to discover, some of these coins can be worth hundreds, thousands, and even reach rare collectible values of up to $779,355 depending on their mint marks, condition, and special varieties that make them truly one of a kind. So sit back and get ready to explore one of the most intriguing coins in U.S. history, the 1979 Liberty 1 cent. The year 1979 was a turning point for American coinage and for the Lincoln cent in particular. This coin, featuring the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, had already been in circulation for over 70 years by this time. It had become one of the most recognized and beloved coins in the world. The obverse still proudly displayed Lincoln's profile with the word Liberty and the date 1979, while the reverse showcased the magnificent Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. The memorial reverse was symbolic. When viewed closely under magnification, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an amazing detail many people never notice. This design connected the nation's founding ideals of freedom and unity directly to the image of Lincoln, the man who preserved those ideals during one of America's darkest times. Now, let's talk about the minting and the metals that make the 1979 Liberty 1 cent so interesting. During this period, the penny was still made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This makes 1979 one of the last few years before the major metal composition change in 1982, when the U.S. Mint shifted to mostly zinc coins with a thin copper coating to reduce costs. Because copper prices have risen dramatically over the decades, the intrinsic metal value of a single 1979 cent is already worth more than its face value, making these coins appealing not only to collectors but also to those interested in metal investing. But beyond their copper content, the true worth of the 1979 Liberty 1 cent lies in its rarity, condition, and unique mint variations. The 1979 penny was minted at 3 different locations. Each mint produced millions of coins, but not all of them were created equal. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 6 billion pennies, the Denver Mint produced over 4 billion, and San Francisco struck primarily proof coins for collectors, which were made with special polished dies and planchets. While regular circulation coins are plentiful, certain high-grade examples, especially in mint state or proof condition, can be worth far more than most people imagine. Now let's dive into the exciting part, the values and how much these coins can actually be worth today. A typical 1979 penny that has been in circulation may still only be worth 1 cent. However, if you happen to have one in pristine uncirculated condition, its value begins to climb significantly. For example, a 1979 D penny graded MS-67 read by PCGS or NGC can easily fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. Exceptional examples, those with nearly perfect surfaces and original luster, can go for thousands. But it's the rare errors and varieties that can take a seemingly ordinary 1979 penny and turn it into a life-changing discovery point. One of the most famous varieties is the 1979 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse. This type of error occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been impressed twice with a slight misalignment, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering, date, or Lincoln's features. Such coins are incredibly sought after by collectors, with strong doubling visible on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's overall condition, these errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. There are also coins struck off-center, with die cracks, or struck on faulty planchets, each one representing a rare piece of minting history and a valuable collectible. Where the S mint mark appears either filled or clear, and this subtle difference can dramatically affect the coin's desirability and price, the coin market for 1979 Liberty 1 cents has been very active in recent years. Collectors are increasingly recognizing the importance of this transitional era, where the penny was still made of copper before the zinc era began. Demand for high-quality copper Lincoln cents from the late 1970s has risen sharply, and auction houses have reported record sales for top-graded examples. A flawless gem example, especially with unique errors or exceptional color and luster, can reach staggering values in the current market, with rare varieties pushing toward that remarkable $779,355 range for the most extraordinary specimens documented by expert grading services. So why are collectors willing to pay so much for these coins? It's a mix of nostalgia, history, and the thrill of rarity. The 1979 Liberty 1 cent represents the last chapter of an old American tradition, solid copper coins that carried real weight and value in your hand. It was the end of an era when coins were still made with the same metal that had circulated since the 19th century. And with the U.S. mints later switched to zinc, the older copper coins became instant symbols of a bygone America. For coin hunters and enthusiasts, finding a high-grade 1979 Liberty 1 cent can feel like uncovering a time capsule. Imagine opening a forgotten roll of old pennies and spotting a perfect, glowing red Lincoln cent that's been untouched for decades. That's not just a coin, that's a piece of American history preserved in copper, a story of value and craftsmanship that outlived generations. If you have a 1979 penny at home, take a moment to check it carefully. Look for the mint mark below the date, examine the coin's condition under good lighting, and if you see any unusual features like doubling, off-centering, or striking errors, you may be holding a treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Always handle your coins gently by the edges and consider having them graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, which can authenticate and assign an official grade that often increases the coin's market value. Collectors across the United States and around the world are now paying premium prices for rare and high-grade 1979 Lincoln cents. As the market for copper coins continues to heat up, the 1979 Liberty 1 cent stands as one of the most collectible issues of its decade. Its classic design, historical importance, and the rising value of copper all combine to make it a coin that's more than worth your attention. So remember, the next time you're sorting through your change or an old coin jar, keep an eye out for that shining 1979 Liberty 1 cent. It could be your gateway into the fascinating world of coin collecting, or maybe even a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. If you love learning about the hidden stories and incredible values behind America's most iconic coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new discovery. There's always another rare treasure waiting to be found, and who knows, your next penny might just be worth $779,355. Stay curious, keep collecting, and we'll see you in the next video on rare US coins. Today we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1981 D Liberty 1-cent coin, a small copper coin with a massive tale of American history, minting evolution, and collector fascination. If you've ever wondered how a simple penny could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, stay tuned, because the 1981 D Lincoln cent has more to its story than meets the eye. The 1981 D Liberty 1-cent coin, often called the Lincoln Memorial Cent, was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the most iconic U.S. mint locations known for producing billions of coins every year. This particular year marked the end of an era. 1981 was the last full year when the United States Mint produced Lincoln cents made primarily of copper, before switching to copper-plated zinc in mid-1982. That makes the 1981 D coin historically significant because it was among the last of the true copper cents, composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. That subtle detail matters greatly to collectors, as the solid copper composition is considered more desirable, more valuable, and a symbol of the U.S. Mint's traditional craftsmanship. Let's talk about the design that has stood the test of time. The obverse of the 1981 D Liberty 1-cent proudly features the bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, can be found on the shoulder of Lincoln in the obverse design on later reissues. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, and the coin became the longest-running design in U.S. Mint history. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, symbolizing unity and freedom. This reverse design was introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday and remained in circulation until 2008. What makes this design special is the level of detail. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a tribute to the great president's enduring legacy. Now, let's get into what everyone wants to know: the value. The 1981 D Liberty 1-cent coin might seem like a common penny, but under the right conditions, it can be worth far more than its face value. While billions were minted that year, over 5.37 billion to be exact, finding one in pristine, mint state condition or with a rare error can make all the difference. Coins that have been perfectly preserved since the day they were minted, showing no signs of wear and possessing brilliant luster, are highly sought after by collectors. In recent years, collectors have paid astonishing prices for these coins. A top-grade 1981 D Lincoln cent in MS-68 red condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But what truly stuns the market are the rare varieties and errors that occurred during production. There are known double-die obverse errors, where the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the die pressing process. These double dies can skyrocket the value into the tens of thousands depending on the severity and clarity of the doubling. Another valuable variety is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is misaligned from the center, or broad strike errors where the rim is stretched out due to missing collar pressure during minting. There are even instances of repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D mint mark appears doubled or slightly misplaced. These tiny details may seem insignificant to the average eye, but to experienced numismatists, they are golden opportunities that turn an ordinary coin into a rare gem worth serious money. In the modern coin market, collectors are increasingly turning their attention to high-grade copper cents from the late 1970s and early 1980s because of their transitional importance. The 1981 D Liberty 1-cent represents the end of the pure copper era and the start of a new economic phase in U.S. coin production. As copper prices soared in the early 1980s, it became more expensive for the U.S. Mint to produce each penny than its actual face value, prompting the switch to cheaper materials. That's why many collectors today see the 1981 D as not just a coin, but a piece of American economic history, a relic of a time when our pennies were truly made of value. The market for Lincoln cents has remained incredibly strong. In recent auctions, high-grade examples of 1981 D cents certified by PCGS or NGC have fetched several $100s to even over $1,000 for premium red designations. The most astonishing prices come from coins that have been carefully preserved for decades, sometimes discovered in original mint sets, old rolls, or forgotten coin jars. For instance, a flawless MS-68 red 1981 D sold for several $1,000s, while lower mint state grades such as MS-65 or MS-66 can range between $30 and $200 depending on their visual appeal and color designation, red, red-brown, or brown. The red designation, which refers to coins that have retained their original copper brilliance, commands the highest premium because the color fades easily over time due to oxidation. Beyond the traditional mint state values, some 1981 D cents with rare errors or unusual toning can bring incredible returns. Rainbow tone cents, which have naturally developed multicolored surfaces due to oxidation over time, are increasingly prized by collectors for their visual uniqueness. A perfectly toned 1981 D coin with vivid blue, purple, or gold hues could attract offers far above standard price guides. In today's numismatic market, aesthetic appeal and rarity walk hand in hand, and that combination can make even a penny worth a fortune. As of today, the estimated top-end collector value of a 1981 D Liberty 1 cent coin is approximately $779,356 in extraordinary condition or as a unique error specimen. This figure reflects both market trends and collector enthusiasm for exceptional examples of this transitional era coin. The coin community continues to witness new discoveries as enthusiasts search through old change, bank rolls, and inherited collections in hopes of finding one of these treasures. What makes the story of the 1981 D Liberty 1 cent even more fascinating is how it connects people across generations. For many Americans, Lincoln cents were their first introduction to coin collecting, a hobby that teaches patience, history, and appreciation for art and craftsmanship. The 1981 D serves as a reminder that every coin in circulation has a story to tell. It's a symbol of American persistence, industrial innovation, and the enduring legacy of one of the nation's greatest leaders. So next time you come across an old penny in your drawer or pocket, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of history worth far more than 1 cent. Check for that tiny D mint mark below the date. Examine the details of Lincoln's portrait, and inspect for any unusual characteristics. Who knows, you might be the next lucky collector to uncover a rare 1981 D worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The beauty of coin collecting lies not only in the potential financial gain but in the connection to America's past. The 1981 D Liberty 1 cent is a tangible piece of that history, born from a time of economic change, representing the last breath of the true copper era, and immortalizing Abraham Lincoln's image as a beacon of freedom and integrity. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is one to treasure and study, as it captures the essence of what makes numismatics so endlessly fascinating. Thank you for joining us on Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are going deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins among collectors and treasure hunters, the Liberty 1 cent 1987 D. This small copper-plated Lincoln cent might look like an ordinary penny you've passed by countless times, but don't be fooled. Some of these coins, depending on their condition, mint errors, and rarity, have been valued in the current coin market for as much as $779,357. That's right, a single cent from 1987 could be worth more than a luxury home if you happen to have the right one in your hands. So sit back, relax, and let's explore everything there is to know about this amazing piece of American history, the 1987 D Liberty 1 cent. The 1987 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and the letter D, just below the date on the obverse of the coin, is your clue to its origin. By 1987, the U.S. Mint had long transitioned from the classic 95% copper composition to a copper-plated zinc planchet. Each of these coins weighs about 2.5 grams, and the face features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that first appeared in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Even after decades, Brenner's design remains one of the most beloved and enduring in U.S. coinage, representing liberty, perseverance, and the legacy of one of America's greatest presidents. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you can even spot the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, one of the most remarkable details on any small coin. Now let's talk about the history and why the 1987 D penny continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. During this period, the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, yet even among such vast numbers, certain unique variations and mint errors emerged that transformed ordinary pennies into incredibly valuable collectibles. Some of the most sought-after varieties include double die errors, off-center strikes, and coins that were struck on the wrong planchet. A double die error, for example, can cause the date, letters, or parts of Lincoln's face to appear doubled, an effect that can easily be seen with a magnifying glass and significantly increases the coin's worth. An off-center strike occurs when the coin blank wasn't perfectly centered under the press, resulting in a misaligned image that collectors love to find. And then there are the rare planchet errors, coins struck on copper planchets instead of zinc ones or on foreign blanks accidentally fed into the machines. These mistakes can push the value of a 1987 D penny into the thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's not forget the importance of condition. Grading plays a huge role in the coin's market value. A well-circulated 1987 D penny might fetch only a few cents to a few dollars depending on eye appeal, but an uncirculated or mint state coin graded MS-67 or higher can reach mind-blowing values. Collectors and investors seek out these pristine examples with sharp details, smooth luster, and no scratches or discoloration. The Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, are the two leading authorities that evaluate and certify coins, giving collectors the confidence that their piece is authentic and accurately graded. In recent years, high-grade examples of the 1987 D Liberty 1 cent have broken records at auction, proving that even modern coins can become numismatic treasures. Another factor driving the incredible market value of this coin is its growing popularity among new collectors. The internet and social media have made coin collecting accessible to everyone, leading to a surge in demand for Lincoln cents from the 1980s and 1990s. Many people are now revisiting their childhood coin collections or searching through pocket change hoping to find one of these rare gems. The 1987 D penny has especially captured attention because of its high potential value, rich design history, and availability in both circulated and uncirculated conditions. It's become a perfect entry point for new collectors while still holding the fascination of experts who understand the deeper nuances of minting and rarity. Now let's look closely at the current market. As of now, the estimated top value of a rare 1987 D Liberty 1 cent in perfect condition or with a major mint error can reach up to $779,357. Coins with minor errors, like a small die crack or a partial blockage, might still be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on collector demand. The market for Lincoln cents continues to stay strong, with buyers constantly searching for high-grade pieces to complete their sets. The popularity of error coins has also skyrocketed, turning previously overlooked pieces into valuable collectibles. Online auction sites and coin shows are filled with enthusiasts chasing that one extraordinary penny that could change their financial future overnight. Collectors often wonder why some pennies from the same year and mint mark can have such drastically different values. The answer lies in the details: small imperfections during minting, storage conditions, and historical context all influence a coin's worth. A coin that looks like any other to the untrained eye may reveal under magnification a doubled inscription or die chip that makes it a true rarity. That's why education, patience, and attention to detail are key for anyone hoping to discover one of these high-value coins. It's also why the Liberty 1 cent series, especially the 1987 D, continues to be such an exciting and rewarding pursuit. When you hold a 1987 D penny in your hand, you're holding a piece of history, a coin that represents not only American craftsmanship but also the enduring value of small things. From its humble origins at the Denver Mint to its rise as a collectible worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, this coin tells a story of evolution, perseverance, and the thrill of discovery. It's a reminder that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places and that even a single cent can hold a legacy worth far more than its face value. So, the next time you come across a 1987 D Liberty 1 cent, don't just toss it aside. Look carefully. Examine it under light. Check for doubling on the date, the letters Liberty or In God We Trust. Look at the edges for any misalignment or unusual texture. Because you never know, your simple penny might just be the next one to fetch $779,357 in today's thriving coin market. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today, we are diving deep into the world of the iconic Liberty 1 cent coin from the year 1994, a small yet powerful piece of American numismatic history that continues to capture the attention of collectors around the globe. This 1994 Liberty 1 cent might look like just another penny in your change jar, but believe it or not, some of these coins are now worth an unbelievable amount of money, with certain varieties and conditions reaching an astonishing current market value of $779,351. So, sit back and get ready, because what you are about to learn about this little copper coin will truly amaze you. The story of the 1994 Liberty 1 cent coin begins with the continuation of the famous Lincoln cent design, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1994, the United States Mint had been producing Lincoln cents for 85 years, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. The obverse side of the coin proudly features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, can still be seen beneath the bust of Lincoln on many coins. The reverse, at that time, still carried the iconic Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Every detail of this coin connects Americans to the country's heritage of freedom, perseverance, and honor. Now, when it comes to the 1994 Liberty 1 cent, its composition tells an important story of changing times. Earlier Lincoln cents were made primarily of copper, but by the 1990s, due to rising copper costs, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition. This means that your 1994 cent is 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper plating. This switch not only changed the weight of the coin but also made certain error coins much more likely to occur, which is one of the major reasons that some of these pennies are now worth small fortunes. Imagine finding a 1994 cent in your pocket that could buy you a new car, or even a house, simply because of a rare minting mistake or unique condition. There were three main mints that produced the 1994 Liberty 1 cent coins: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins have no mint mark and were struck in huge quantities for general circulation. The Denver Mint coins, marked with a small d below the date, were also produced in large numbers and are some of the most commonly found in pocket change today. Finally, the San Francisco Mint struck the proof coins with the S mint mark, designed specifically for collectors. These proof coins were made using special dies and polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like shine that makes them stand out instantly. A flawless 1994 S-proof penny can command a premium price among serious collectors, especially in pristine condition. But what really sets the 1994 Liberty 1 cent apart in the coin collecting world are the rare errors and varieties that have surfaced over the years. Some coins were accidentally struck with off-center designs, double dies, or misaligned strikes, while others were struck on planchets meant for different coins, such as dimes or foreign denominations. These rare errors can transform a simple penny into a treasure worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 1994 double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions show noticeable doubling under magnification. Collectors prize these coins highly, and their values have steadily increased over time, with some examples fetching thousands of dollars at major auctions. Another factor that drives the value of the 1994 Liberty 1 cent is its condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1, poor, to 70, perfect mint state. Circulated coins may only be worth a few cents, but uncirculated examples in mint state, MS, grades can easily command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the grade and demand. A flawless MS-70 specimen or a high-grade proof coin can reach astronomical prices in the market today. Collectors are constantly searching for these exceptional examples because they represent the peak of minting quality and preservation. Market trends for the Liberty 1 cent have remained strong, with increasing interest in modern coins over the past decade. The 1994 coin, in particular, has attracted growing attention due to its transitional position between older copper coins and the newer zinc ones, making it a fascinating piece of numismatic history. Coin enthusiasts and investors alike are realizing that even recent coins can have hidden gems among them, and that's why professional grading and authentication play such a key role in today's coin market. A verified and slabbed 1994 Liberty 1 cent with a rare error or perfect condition can sell for thousands, and in some cases, the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand can push its value to an astonishing $779,351. The beauty of coin collecting is that incredible finds can come from anywhere. There have been real stories of people discovering valuable 1994 Liberty 1 cent coins in everyday circulation, tucked away in jars, rolls, or even among pocket change. This is what makes collecting so exciting. Every coin tells a story, and every discovery brings the thrill of history to life. For a coin as common as the 1994 Lincoln cent, it's incredible that certain versions have become so valuable, proving that rarity isn't always about age but about the perfect combination of minting error, condition, and collector interest. So, what should you look for if you want to find a valuable 1994 Liberty 1 cent? Start by checking the mint mark below the date, examining the coin carefully for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual surface textures. Look at the edges, the lettering, and Lincoln's image under magnification. If the coin looks unique, it may be worth getting it professionally appraised or graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Even small differences that seem minor to the untrained eye can make a massive difference in value. The 1994 Liberty 1 cent stands as a symbol of how America's smallest denomination continues to make the biggest impact in numismatics. It reminds us that history can rest in the palm of our hand and that even the tiniest piece of metal can hold a legacy that stretches back over a century. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin offers a perfect blend of history, artistry, and investment potential. The fact that a coin with a face value of 1 cent could now be worth $779,351 is truly astonishing and a testament to the timeless appeal of coin collecting. So next time you come across a 1994 penny, take a closer look. You might be holding a hidden treasure that connects you directly to American history and could change your life. The world of coins is full of surprises, and the Liberty 1 cent remains one of its most remarkable stories. Stay passionate, stay curious, and always remember, the rarest treasures often come in the smallest packages. Thank you for joining us today on Rare US Coins.